All right. Sweet. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome into the stream. Hello, I'm Basil, and to everyone else who has popped in. Oh my goodness, there's so many names. Claire Sapphire, Omega, Amira Rampsad, Poppy, Shania, Anonymous Druid, Fancy Dinosaur. Welcome into everyone. Welcome into this lighting stream. We are going to be learning about lighting today. Now, I've taught this lesson to my art mentorship kids before, but I do really like teaching lighting. It's one of my favorite things. And there's a lot to keep in mind when you do lighting. So, hello. There's a lot to keep in mind when you do lighting. So, happy to teach that today. But before we get going, let's talk a little bit about the studio. If you didn't know, our growing community is filled with tons of art nerds, and we art nerds have to stick together. So, if you're an art nerd too, be sure to check out the links to our social media in the description below. And check out our website for our class offerings, because we're not just a YouTube channel, we're an art school too. So, if you would like to support us so we can keep making free content, consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can get access to tons of perks like my working files, critique sessions, and a huge discount on our classes that have have a limited amount of spots. So be sure to check those out before they're gone. Why is it set to cut? This should be set to fade. There we go. Goodness. Why is that different? Oh well. Hello. Welcome, Amaya. Yeah. Hello, Omega. Welcome in. Yeah, I don't know what was up with the... Why did that switch to cut and fade? Oh well. That's okay. Doesn't matter. So, lighting. So this part, the writing part might take a little bit longer than usual. Because there's a lot to kind of go over. I'll try not to spend forever on it, though. So, there are main things to think about when it comes to lighting, right? This very, very tea lover. Hello, welcome in, tea lover. Glad you could make it. And there are very specific things that you want to think about when it comes to lighting, right? The first thing we want to think about is color. Right? Now, color is quite important when it comes to lighting. So your color, so what color is your light? Hello, I too like lights. Me as well. Myself as well, Kojo. Welcome in. So with lighting, one thing to think about is color. What color is your light? And this... We're just going to jump straight into it. I got to finish this quick because there's a lot. What color is your light? This will determines your shadow color. Right? So the color of your light will determine the color of your shadows, right? Not every single shadow is gray, right? Not every single shadow is just a darker version of the color that you have, right? Oops. Not every shadow is just a darker version of your base colors. Hello, Duder, welcome in. And I hope you're having a good day as well. Every shadow is just a darker version of your base color. Right? So, if your light... Oh, actually. If you have warm light... your shadows will be cool. And if you have cool light, your shadows will be warm. Right? And this kind of alludes to the colors, right? So if you have a cool colored light, so like a blue or like a a green, like kind of like a cold green, then those will be warm shadows. You'll have warm colored shadows, right? And if you have a warm light, you'll have cool shadows. So say if you had like a warm kind of like yellow light happening, then you would have cool colored shadows. Now, normally whenever I teach this, I'd kind of go like, yeah, I heard that this is what it is, but I don't actually know why. I don't really have any examples of how it happens, but I realized I actually have two different colored lights in my room, right? I have one very cold colored neon light, and I have a yellow light that comes from my lamp. Right, so I was like, oh, cool as ice, yeah. So I realized I have an actual physical demo that I can show you, because this is the shadows that my walls cast at night, right? Whoops. These are the shadows that my walls cast at night, right? So there are two different shadows because there are two different colored lights. Which option won the community poll when I last checked? It was neon. It's actually golden hour that won. I kind of wish neon won because I love doing neon lighting. So we're gonna be doing golden hour, but golden hour actually takes a very short amount of time for me. So we'll see if we actually have time to do neon lighting, because I would way prefer to do neon lighting. It's a little bit trickier, and I think it kind of like makes it a little more fun for me. But like, you know, whatever. We'll see what happens. But there are two different colored lights in my room, right? So that means it's two different colored shadows that are cast. So this shadow right here, I feel like I'm in an online art school. Well, that's what we are. That's what Wing Canvas is. So this shadow, right? If I color pick this, look at that. See? It's a warm yellow. It comes from this color, which is a warm color, right? The light, my light, you can't see it. My light in front of me is a bright neon purple. It's like this. It's not, actually, it's a little bit colder. It's more like that. That's my light color. Notice as well that they're complementary colors. Very interesting. The light is like a cold kind of purple, so then the shadow is like a warm kind of yellow, right? So this is the light. Very interesting. Hello, Jay. Welcome in. Jay is here. Yes, Jay is here as well. Hello, Charlene. Welcome in. And Fancy Dinosaur. Glad to hear y'all. Alright, so my light color, this cold purple, makes this yellowish, warm shadow. However, you can kind of see it off to the side here. This shadow, right here, cold blue, right? So this shadow right here is a cold, cold blue. The light color, you can kind of see it over here, is more of like an orangey, kind of like a bright orange. Right? So this is my proof. If it happens in real life, it has to be real. Right? So depending on your light color, it will determine your shadow color, right? Always want to keep that in mind. Always, always. Right? So if your light is very cold, then your shadows will be warm colors. If your light is very warm, then your shadows will be cold colors, right? So this is my wall. This is another light switch. I have so many lights in my room, and I don't use all of them, but it's like I have a lot of hanging fairy lights, and I have this neon light that's constantly on in front of me. I'm getting a new one. I want another one because I want a neon room. But yes, anyway. Hello, Gabriel. Welcome in. You already had this lesson, but I'm teaching it a second time. All right. So, I'm teaching it a second time. Hopefully I teach it better this time. Second thing you want to think about when it comes to your lighting is your intensity. I have them written off to the side. Intensity. Because I actually did want to plan this one a little bit. Because lighting is really, really important. And I want to I always want to make sure that I'm teaching it right. But, you know, I really want to make sure I'm teaching this one right. So your intensity is how bright are your colors? How bright are they? Or how bright are your lights? Right, so how bright are your lights? Determines how objects are affected. concentration of light, and it's how concentrated the lights are and how much of the area. No worries, reviewing the subject helps. Yes, it does. Oh, I need to save this file. Oopsies. It's always good to review more than once. This is stream 16. So how bright are your lights determines how objects are affected, concentration of light, and how much of the surrounding area is affected. My handwriting is so awful today. What is happening? Why is it so, like, bad? How much of the surrounding area is affected? Alright, so how bright are your lights is what your intensity is, and it determines how your objects are affected. So your concentration of light and how much of the surrounding area is affected, right? If you have a super, super bright light, right, you know, like those, like if you're in like a football field and they have those giant industrial lights, like the whole football field is lit up, right? Those are very, very intense lights and they light up a huge area, right? If you just have like a little dinky candle, right, not very bright, it won't affect a lot, and it also, the light won't be very concentrated because it's so small and not very bright, right? So it's a little bit different. Extremely bright light. Yeah, it's like that one flashlight that Markiplier bought in that one video. That was crazy. Imagine spending $500 on a flashlight. Imagine having that kind of money. Anyway, 8,000. Let's make this taller because there's a lot to talk about. Okay. Next thing that's important to think about when you're talking about your light is your proximity. Proximity. How close is your light? Oh, I watched that video. Yeah, so did I. I've watched it too many times, maybe. I mean, clearly I did, but yeah. It was super bright. It just blew out his camera. It was so funny. How close is your light? Oops, this should be only on this layer. To post Una's honest days, honestly. Oh no, I'm wearing a Michael Reeves shirt. I would have been wearing the Camp Unis Honest shirt. It's somewhere in here. I have 2 pieces of Unis Honest merch. If you've never seen that video, you should watch it. It's good. The world's brightest flashlight, Markiplier. Watch it after this live stream. Like, just trust me, it's great. How close is your light to your objects? And also, whoops. This is part of the lesson that I forgot to teach to my own students. How close is your light to your objects? And how close are your objects to each other? This determines shadow concentration and area of effect. I wish I got Una's Honest merch. You should have. Yeah, I have the Camp Una's Honest and I have the Goddess Honest shirt, I think. That's what I'm a very big merch person. Like, half of what I own is merch. Like, I swear, most of my wardrobe. Like, right now, like, I'm wearing the new Michael Reeves merch. And then I have a lot of Una's Honest. I have Cloak. Like, I have the Cloak runners. I have Suki Market. I have the hat. I want to get the socks. Yeah. I have too much merch. Anyway, how close are your lights to your objects? It determines the shadow concentration and the area of effect, right? Think of the sun, right? Sun, very far away. And that's why the sun can light up half the earth. Very far away, and it's very bright. But because it's so far away, the intensity isn't as intense, right? I mean, don't look at the sun, but it determines the shadow concentration. So you notice how the shadows of clouds, right? If a cloud kind of passes over you, the shadow it tends to be very, very fuzzy around the edges, right? Because the clouds are very far away from the ground, and the sun is very far away from the clouds, right? Oh, shadow concentration. Size as well. If your shadows get bigger when your light pulls away more, right? Um, right? So think of a cloud. Now, think of when you do shadow puppets on the wall, right? When your hand gets closer to the wall, the shadow gets more concentrated, right? If you get your hand closer to the flashlight, then the shadow becomes more fuzzy, but it also grows bigger, right? So you always kind of want to think of that, right? So if your arms, right, so if something is closer, if you have two objects that are closer together, that shadow is going to be very, very condensed, right? And if the shadows are very, very far away, or objects are very far away from each other, the shadows are going to be a lot fuzzier, right? And the shadows will be larger if your light source is farther away, right? Stuff like that. And then your intensity determines if there's going to be shadows at all, right? So my headphones are Razor Kraken Kitties, right? So they're the glowing ones, right? They're the pink ones. And the little glowing bits of the ears, they don't cause a shadow because they're not bright enough, but my neon light does, right? That's bright enough. So that's why intensity is important as well as proximity. You kind of have to think of every single one of these things when you're drawing your objects. Yeah, I'm definitely teaching this better on the live stream compared to my class. I'm so sorry to my students. Oh, that makes sense. Yes, you always have to think. Art has a lot of brain power. Art takes a lot of brain power as you get older. As you get older and you become more like in tune with your arts and whatever, you're kind of like, oh man, there's so much to think about. But yeah, next one that's kind of obvious, or it seems kind of obvious until someone says it, is your, oh goodness, it's your light placement. Right? So where is your light? Oopsie doopsie. It's been 5 years to me to learn how to draw and be an artist, but I think I have to learn more because I don't care about the lighting. I did the lighting, but I don't care how realistic it is. Yeah, this is all kind of like for more realistic lighting. Obviously, you still kind of want to think about this sort of stuff. Like this one, light placement, is the one that everybody needs to think about. Doesn't matter what style you work in, right? Unless if your style doesn't include shadows at all, light placement is one that every single style has to think about. Light placement and color, I think, are two that everyone has to think about, unless you really want to do that unorthodox kind of lighting. But yeah. This is what art teachers need to watch. Hello, Amara, welcome in. Maybe, I don't know. Oopsie doopsie. Lighting can help improve your work a ton, give a sense of mood. Yes, it can. I love lighting. Lighting is I think it's what brings your art up 20 times. Knowing all of this and applying all of this your art doesn't have to be realistic to apply all of this, right? There's a lot of cartoonists who apply every single one of these lighting tips, and it's great. It makes your work 20 times better. So your light placement. Where's your light? This determines shadow direction, also hello, yes, hello. Welcome to the stream. Post this live on your YouTube after it's over. They're always available for replay, so if you ever miss anything, this is always up for you to find afterwards. Determines shadow direction, and determines what creates shadows. So, your light placement, or where your light is, right? If you have a light above you, right, your shadows are going to be, you know, following the direction that your light comes from, right? If the light is below you, right, the shadows are going to, same deal, they're going to follow the direction of the light, right? And different parts of your face will cause shadows differently, right? If it's from above, there will be shadows underneath your nose. If there's light from below, there will be shadows on top of your nose, right? Depending on where the shadow comes from, right, that'll determine what creates the shadows and where the light goes, right? Stuff like that, or where which direction your shadow goes and what will create the shadows and how those shadows are created, right? So you always have to think about that, right? Light swords, hi, have to go though. Just came to say hi, Jessie. Hello, Em, welcome in very briefly. Glad to see you pop in. And these are always available afterwards as well, so if you ever need to, you know, review it, all good. But I'm glad you came in to say hi. Hello, hello. Okay. So, next bit of lighting. Oh goodness, what did I do? Sorry, I have like my thing over on the side. Oh, okay, well. Light placement, where's your light? And then yeah, the next thing you want to think about is what's blocking the light. So kind of goes hand in hand with this one. What's blocking the light? Actually, so then this will determine shadow direction. This one is what determines what creates the shadows. So depending on what's blocking the light, those things will create shadows. Everything that is not blocking the light will not create shadows, but more things will block shadows than you think, right? The more shadows you add, the more realistic it ends up being, right? That's kind of the rule of thumb, right? If you have like a very cartoony thing, right, you're gonna have a lot more shadows, a lot less shadows on a little guy that looks like this, right? You might just have like a little shadow underneath and then like maybe a soft tone here. If compared to like if you drew like a realistic dude, which I'm not going to do right now because that's going to take too much time. But right, so what's blocking the light? Just I kind of talked about it already. Whatever is going to be blocking the light is there. Bye-bye. Where's my light source? Stuff I ask myself every day. Yes, me too, Yuri. Yuri, one of our lovely instructors, if you didn't know. Jay, yeah, I felt that, me too. Hello, Daisy Drawing, welcome in. Glad you could make it. We're just talking about light and how important it is. Alright, so what we've gone over so far is what's important with lighting, so things you need to think about. So there's your color, your intensity, your proximity, where your light is coming from, so your light placement, and what's blocking the light, right? Your light source is so important. It kind of adds like another level to all of your artwork. And there's so many ways you can do it. But hello, Daisy Drawing 09, welcome in. Glad you could make it. What's blocking the light? Okay, two more things. 6, primary light. What's your brightest light? Determines where. Oh, whoops. I did this wrong. Oh, I did that wrong too. I didn't select the tool. Congratulations. Hi, Jessie. Hello, Angie. Welcome in. I need this. Me too, honestly. I've found that, like, a lot of my art has improved since, like, you know, I've been teaching. Like, I remember when I first started teaching and suddenly my art got a lot better because I was like, whoa, now I understand what I'm doing, right? It's like your art gets better once you understand what's happening, right? You know, there's always the art joke. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. A lot of artists do know what they're doing. It's just the meme, right? But yes, hello, welcome in, Angie Smith. Glad you could make it. Oh, we've got a lot of people in today. Everybody wants to know lighting, apparently. Environmental light, yes, indeed. So your primary light, what is your brightest light? tends to be the sun. But not always. Determines majority of shadows. Right, your primary light is what's going to cause the most shadows, right? The sun causes the most shadows, right? You don't have, like, you stand out in the sun, you might have, like, water reflections or something depending on where they are, but it's the sun that's going to cause the shadows, right? The reflections off of the water are not going to cause shadows, most likely. Oh, geez, same, I have improved out of nowhere. Yeah, it's just like when you kind of understand what you're doing more, it feels like you're learning, right? You're understanding stuff more. So that's why I kind of always want to teach with the idea of understanding before applying it, right? Because it's like, it's one thing to just do it and get a tutorial, right? And it's another thing to understand, because when you understand it, then you can apply it in different ways. When it's like, when you get like a step 1, you must draw this, right? That kind of conforms you to one art style and like conforms you to one style of doing things, and it doesn't help, right? So it's like I kind of like to teach with the idea of, yes, we need to understand how lighting works, and then you can understand how to apply certain things, and that way you can bend it to your will more. It's a little bit easier to do that way. Right? Kind of that way. Imrula, it's me, Aranoyas. I changed my name. Ah, welcome back in. Glad you can make it. Okay, so your primary light, what's your brightest light, tends to be the sun, but not always, and it determines the majority of your shadows. Some, like, yeah, it'll just determine the highest concentration of shadow direction. And here's my last point. Whoop. Is secondary light. Or bounce light. Are there reflections? Is there a less powerful light somewhere? So your secondary light or your bounce light. So are there any reflections anywhere? These are more the questions that you need to ask, right, to determine if there is any bounce light. Thanks, no worries. Makes sense, but after I learned hands, my art looked way different. Yes, that too. I remember when I was younger and I was like, oh yeah, I don't have any problems with hands. I don't know, everyone's like so like strange about it, right? And then I got older and I'm like, man, hands suck, right? And I was like, hands are so hard. And I looked back at my old art and I was like, I thought I was good at hands because I didn't care. Right? It's a little bit different. Sometimes, like, you get older and you're like, yeah, now I realize. You get better at art and you're like, I understand now. Right, so are there reflections, and is there a less powerful light? Determines if there should be actually, it doesn't really determine anything. It's like secondary light is kind of like, or bounce light is light that comes, if you don't know what it is, right? So let me do that real quick. I should actually do one of these diagrams real quick. The lighting circle. All of my students know this, the skin circle. I think I talked about this with blending, but I'll talk about it with, with lighting as well. Actually, no, I should keep this here. Same, relatable. Ears and noses are hard. I love drawing noses. I understand ears, though. Ears are so weird because of the inside thing. I can talk about that in a bit because it's not too bad. So, let's talk about shadows. How this can kind of go, right? There's two ways that you can do this, right? There's the digital artist's way of picking shadows, and then there's like the like, yes, I am a I am a traditional painter and I must pick my colors this way. So sometimes it all, again, it depends on your lighting color, right? So let's say that my lighting is like a yellow, like a soft yellow. So the digital artist's way of picking your shadows is if you have this layer, set it to multiply. I'm going to cell shade this just to make it a little bit easier, right? Just to make it a little bit faster. And then you can kind of just draw it in, right? And then you have your blue shadows. This is why a lot of your shadows will end up being the same color in a more realistic sense, because if it all has the same lighting color, then you should have it like this. How long is the live stream? It'll last until 6, so about an hour and a half longer. Yeah, 1.5 hours. I'm the one who can't draw backgrounds. It's okay. Lots of people can't draw backgrounds. I love backgrounds, but lots of artists hate backgrounds. I'm one of those weird artists that loves challenge, and like, if you throw something at me that like I can't draw properly, I'm like, yeah, give it to me. That's what I want. I want to feel pain. Right, so this is like my shadow, right? And then I have, so make this a little bit longer, a little bit larger. Let's say that the light is really concentrated and close. And then, if this is skin, just protect that off a little bit. Right, and then this is my subsurface scattering, a little bit of that. And then if I create a new layer, it's also clipped my lighting color. If I switch my layer type to, oh, it does, nice. If you have hard light, kind of pick your light color that way. And then the bounce light. I'll name these layers afterwards. I just want to, I want to figure this out first. And then this would kind of be my bounce light. Right, I'd normally blend this in more. So this is the bounce. This is the light. Shadow. Subsurface scattering. Right. Half an hour, I'm the only one in UK realizing the time is 9:30. I mean, here in Canada, we're at 4:30, so all good. Have you drawn barn owls in a live stream? Love these animals, but draw them just won't work sometimes. I haven't had the need to draw a barn owl. We do have a bird live stream coming up, so I'll draw barn owls then for you. We have an animal series coming up soon. So we'll be doing a whole series of animals. Am I a person who draws animals and other nerd things? I used to do a lot of fan art. I still do sometimes. Like, I've been into Resident Evil 8 recently, so, like, I've been doing some of that. But, yeah, no, it's very normal. So, you can't stay for all of it. Oh, that's too bad. It's okay. It'll all be here for you afterwards as well. So, this pock here, this little circle here, this is the light. Right, this little line here is your subsurface scattering. Oops. Scattering, or SSS. Yay, thank you, no worries. This one is the shadow. And this is bounce light. I should have done this on a different layer. That's okay. If I just do this, there we go. Right, so your light is this little kind of pock here, right? The brightest portion. The subsurface scattering, right? This happens on more translucent objects or like skin, right? It's kind of like the light kind of going into the object and coming back out. There's a lot of like scientific diagrams for it. And then there's the shadow, the actual shadows themselves, and then the bounce light, which is the extra kind of light that comes from, you know, so let's say that we have, oh man, it's gonna make my life a lot harder. Okay, hang on. Let me organize this for a second. Okay, cool. Let's just do that real quick, just so I can make this a little bit easier. Okay. Excuse me. Oh. Right, so let's say that we have light source number 1 comes from up here, and then we have secondary or light source number 2, which comes from under here. Right, so this will cause the majority of the shadows, right? And that's why it's lighter up here, but then this will have a little bit of effect on the rest of the sphere, right? So we always kind of want to think of that direction and stuff. So excited for the animal series. Yeah! So many people who are shading with the purple color, but I don't like that shading stuff. With the multiply layer? Yeah. Depends on your style. I shade with pinkish red. It depends on your lighting color. Yes, so pinkish red, if you had the warm shadow, then your light would most likely be a bright green. A light green, right? If you shade with the purple, that means your light is mostly going to be yellow, right? So most people shade with purple or like a deep blue because that's kind of in the warmer range of lighter color, right? So with our lighting, we want to think of our color, right? Depending on whatever color we shade with, that determines whatever color the light is, right? Deals with that kind of stuff. Right, it happens in real life, so that's kind of the realistic thing you want to think of. So the purple used with a multiply layer is the most kind of realistic thing that, that's why a lot of artists use it, the purple or the deep blue. It's because that, like most of the time, like the sun is yellow, right? So the shadows are mostly going to be like purple, like a deep purple, kind of deep blue, dull purple, dull blue, right? Depends on all that fun stuff, right? So, that's all I kind of wanted to go over though. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, thank God, I used up the full thing. So, quick recap of all that I talked about, because there's a lot of steps and a lot of stuff, right? When we're doing our lighting, there's the main thing you want to think about, which is the color, right? What color is your light determines your shadow color. So not every shadow is just a darker version of your base color. So your warm light will create cool shadows, and your cool light will create warm shadows. Next thing you want to think about is the intensity. So how bright are your lights, and it determines how objects are affected. So it determines the concentration of your light, so how bright it is and how, close and stuff is, or how much of your surrounding area is affected. I didn't even know that accidentally applied to recent RPs. Oops. Yeah, it becomes the default. A lot of times people like to do that as the default. What layer mode do you use for the lighting? The lighting, I like to use hard light. When I do the lighting, it takes a bit of experimentation, but I kind of get it there. Sometimes I just don't use any layer mode at all. I just stick it to normal. It depends on what I'm doing. If it's something shiny, then I just leave it at normal. If it's like kind of like a different kind of lighting, like hair or whatever, I might switch it to hard light. It depends on what I'm doing though. Yeah, so the proximity, how close is your light to your objects, how close are your objects to each other, determines shadow concentration, size, and area of effect. Light placement, so where is your light, determines the shadow direction. What's blocking the light, so it determines what creates shadows. Your primary light, so what's your brightest light, which tends to be the sun, but not always, and it determines the majority of shadows. And your secondary light or bounce light, so are there reflections, and is there a less powerful light? Which are the questions that you want to ask yourself for when creating bounce light. Sometimes bounce light is just there for, like, style, right? A lot of artists like to use blue as their bounce light, just to kind of add, like, a little nice extra touch to it. Oh. Sorry. My headphones just kind of, like, did a weird thing for a second. But, yeah. All up to you, though. When it comes to your bounce light, it's kind of just for style a lot of the times. But, that's enough of me talking about this, so let's get to the actual illustrating part. So, y'all voted on Golden Hour as the lighting that I would do when drawing this little character. So I'm kind of going to demonstrate how I would do lighting during Golden Hour. Question, what color do you use when the color is white with shading? Like the lighting color is white, you use black. You ever hear an art teacher tell you to shade with black? Fun stuff. So something that's super, super, like, like a perfectly white light. There is no perfectly white light. Generally, if it's white, it's usually a little bit blue. So the shadows lean a little bit more to the reddish kind of area. They lean a little bit more to the orangish kind of area, but generally, if you have a perfectly white light, people like to shade in black. It's a great way to kind of make things look eerie. Is it realistic? No, but it's great. But yeah, it's all determines on your lighting color. If you have white light, shade with black. So it's all dependent on your lighting. Oi. Blue looks nice with white, and the white is never really white. Yeah, so the white is never usually perfectly white, but to make a lot of horror artists really like to use like perfectly white light and then perfectly black shadows. So it's like it depends on what kind of mood you're going for, because black actually makes a very nice kind of eerie, kind of melancholic look. Um, Especially if it's cloudy out, which creates a very gray kind of light, right? So if your sun is blocked by the clouds, tends to make a very gray kind of lighting. To make a very moody kind of sad atmosphere, people also shade with gray, right? Because gray is like a neutral, right? And it makes this kind of moody, sad. Your shadows are also very like non-concentrated, and they kind of blend in a little bit. So yeah, a little bit different. I like an idiot. Understandable. All right. So golden hour. I actually need to look this up because sometimes I mess it up. Yeah, golden hour is when everything is kind of yellowed. You know. Yeah, golden hour is a little bit easier, I think. So golden hour, the light is going to be orange, so my shadows are going to be a deep blue. Depending on how long this takes, I might actually do the second most voted thing, which was neon lighting. And neon lighting, I think, is a little more fun because it is, it's a little more tricky, I think. I feel like an idiot. No, it's okay. Don't worry. A lot of people get a lot of art teachers will tell students never shade with black. And, like, I used to say that too. It's like you kind of learn as you go ahead, right? But I've learned that the better art teachers actually say that you can. It's like, you kind of get, like, the most school teachers, which is, like, never, never shade with black. But then you kind of get, like, the more advanced artists, and they go, like, actually, you can. It just depends on what you're doing. Brain is not working right. It's okay, me neither. Mine never works right. So what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? So we'll do kind of a simple little character. Who am I drawing? I don't know. I guess I'll kind of figure it out. I might just do a little guy. Oh, you know what? I'll do an animal. Let's do, what have I been watching? I've been watching a lot of horse videos, actually. I don't really like drawing a horse. Let's draw a centaur. Sure. Why not? Golden hour reminds me of happy hour. Two very different things, but I understand. They kind of sound similar. I just saw a glimpse of the brightest flashlight. Yeah. Good stuff. My eyes. He, like, blows out his lens. It's so funny. It's like... Owls? I may do owls another time. Owls won't show up until late, late at night. Centaurs are fine too, yeah. Yeah, birds tend to take a little bit longer. It's like, I wanna... Because now my brain is set on doing more than one illustration. Centaurs. Centaur. Centaur. There are two different spellings for griffin, though. Some people are like, griffin. Other people are like, griffin. So I'm like, I don't know what's right. I used to love griffins. I remember I went as a griffin for Halloween once. That was fun. I too am watching lots of horse videos. I've been watching them because, like, just the dodo keeps popping up in my recommendation, and I'm like, alright, I guess I'll just watch this. And last night I watched, like, horse videos for, like, 3 hours, or, like, half an hour, and I was, like, crying. I was like, as you do. Horse people. It was more like watching horses getting rescued and stuff like that, and I found that really cute. I like my centaurs to be deer. It's like I could do the horses, but I kind of like the deer a little bit more. Because it kind of like makes the fawn thing. I also like just drawing horns. I like drawing horns. The latter seems alright. Hello, Bones Knight. Welcome in. Glad you could make it. Bones Knight. Dude, I love Bones. So we'll say that because it's golden hour, the light is going to be coming from the side, right? Because the sun is setting, right? So the light's going to be kind of long, right? Horns always look so cool. Yeah, I love horns. I love drawing horns. If all my characters could have horns, they would. Unfortunately, they don't, though, so... Yeah. Be right back. Alright, have fun. Oops. This actually should be a little bit shorter. I know. Deer are, like, funky. Deer are funky creatures. Always so thin and skittish. Similar to horse anatomy, though, so it's like it kind of bends here. Out here. First knee. And this. And then in. Yeah, something like that. I have no reference. He's gonna be cute. Thank you. Hello, Lennox. Welcome in. Me. Preaches about always having a reference. Also me. No, I'll just work with that one. It's fine. I don't think they have this bend like horses. I don't think so. Never mind. I'm looking up a reference. I don't want to. Deer. Right? I don't know. Do they have that back? Oh, yes, they do. Oh, theirs is like intense. Okay. So they have like a really harsh. Okay. Okay. I'm a very big fan of really cute characters at the same time as me really loving really horrifying characters. Actually, you know what I've been playing a lot of? Ring Fit Adventure. I've been playing a lot of Ring Fit Adventure. The only way to ever get me to exercise is with a video game. I've been playing so much Ring Fit Adventure, and it's like, every single time they're like, make sure you eat a healthy, balanced diet. Make sure that you're getting plenty of rest, but also make sure that you're keeping to a schedule. And now it's like, they've like guilted me into eating better. And like this whole week, I haven't had lunches this healthy in ages. Last week, I swear I had like pizza pockets for half the week. This week, what I had like salads. I made my own sandwich. I had poke bowl. I had like I was trying to be so healthy. I was like, what is happening? What? Anyway, Ring Fit Adventure is fun. And it's made exercising fun, so that's nice. Horses are quite scary. They can kill us with one quick. Oh yeah, definitely. Gorgeous though. Gorgeous creatures. Strong boys. They're always bigger than you expect. Oh yes, I've ridden a few horses, and like they're huge. Same with moose. If you don't live in Canada, moose are horrifying. Mooses, meese, they're horrifying. A moose is huge, right? They're huge. If you run into a moose with your car, it's your car that's gonna get damaged. You could die if you accidentally run into a moose because like the moose are like or D word. You can because the moose will like it'll break your car because it's bigger than your car. They're very pretty. Yep. YouTube works in strange ways, lol. Join your Discord. Yeah, sorry for my high energy. No, it's good. They lost all their beauty to me when I got bitten by one. Oh no! Thank you, Amaya. Yes. Stream 16-1. There we go. Whenever I try to do something cool, it becomes cute. Ring Fit. I never played it. Wii Sports get me sweat. Oh, 100%. Dude, before Ring Fit, it was Wii Fit, Wii Sports, everything. Dude, I loved those. So good. Wii Sports Resort, I 100%ed the airplane game. Like, I had to find everything. I was like, I sat there for like 2 hours, just like finding everything. I left from Brazil, never saw a moose. Ah, yeah, no, moose are huge. Canada, we don't have a lot of dangerous animals, but moose are horrifying. It's a game for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, Ring Fit's for the Switch. Yeah. Hi, welcome in, Blue Diamond. Glad you can make it. I don't remember what language that is, but hello. I know it's thanks, I think. I was almost picked up by a moose by accident when I by accident got into his. I'm not sure. Wii Sports Resort is so good. Yeah, 100%, dude. I loved Wii Sports. Yeah, so Golden Hour might not take me that long. So, hoping that I can do more than one lighting example. Because I'm not going to do a background, I'm just going to do the characters. You want to play Wii Boxing? Dude, Wii Boxing ruled. My dad loved Wii Boxing. That was all he ever did. I think we have VR boxing, because we have a VR headset. My family, my brother bought us a VR headset, and, like, actually, he plays a lot of VR fishing and Beat Saber, but, like, you know. Yes, thanks. Sorry, I switched accidentally. No, good. All good. Jessie, are you excited for Owl House Season 2? I haven't watched Season 1. I see it everywhere, but I don't know much about it. Sword Fight 1 is amazing. Wii Sports Resort was my favorite. The game stopped working. No, it's so sad. Oh, we still have our Wii that we got back in, like, 2009, and, like, I got so sad when, like, because I played Super Smash Bros. Brawl a lot, and it reset one day by accident. Like, it reset itself, and I was so upset. I was like, are you kidding me? Because the Wii does this weird thing when, like, if there's not a lot of space left, it'll just, like, free up space itself. Just cuz. And it's, like, without asking you. It's the worst. Drawing a zombie frog. Go for it. What do you mean the shuffle is a thing on his head? Wii Sports is the only reason I was allowed to get us... Guess which. Or Wii. Yeah, I understand. It's a really good show. Yeah, and I keep hearing about it. I follow one of the producers. Oops, no, I meant this. To be here. Let's keep opacity by pressure on. Why can I not draw on this? Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong tool. LOL! Okay. I'm gonna switch to... No, I won't. I'll just stick to this rough one. Moose, OMG, if that animal would come charging at me, I wouldn't even try to run. You just take my life. Yeah, I would simply pass away. It's like, nope. Alright, I had a good run. Time to go. Did you play Just Dance on your Wii's? Yes, absolutely. Antlers, like in Shadow at the Bones with the Stag's Antler. Ah, yeah, Antlers. I love Antlers. Had the first 3 games, they were so fun. Yeah, I think I had 2014, 2015. Oh man. I think I had 2016 too, and then we just stopped getting them. I don't know. But we always played them when we had friends over. Now we always play Smash Bros. And 1-2 Switch. Or when we did have friends over, and I haven't had friends over in so long, and I'm like, man, my birthday's coming up, and I'm like, dude, I just want to see my friends again. Like, I don't... Yesterday, it was exactly a month until my birthday, and I'm like, dude, I just want to see my friends again. Like, I don't care about presents. I just want to see people. I love Jessie's style so much. It's really pretty. Thank you. Wasn't sure because on a deer it's called something other than on a moose in German. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, they're just antlers. Antlers are what they're called on both. Antlers, horns, same difference in English. It's interesting that you have another word for them in another language. It's kind of like in Japan where they have a specific word for, like a gender-neutral term. Question, horns or no horns on a zombie frog? I mean... Just for the... Like, you could go with horns, but I don't know where they'd come from. What are friends? I understand. We will get owls in the next videos. Yes, later in the next videos because... Oh, what's next week? I think it's contrast. So I'm actually going to be talking about the principal design. Principles of... So we just finished our elements of design, elements of art, YouTube video series. And we're switching it over. So the principles of design are now going to be live streamed. And then I'm going to edit them afterwards. So I'm the one who edits those. But they're going to be edited afterwards. And they're going to turn into regular videos as well. So switching it up a little bit. If you were to give a pub to someone, how would you gift it? What do you mean by pub? Isn't a pub a type of eatery? Horns in. Thank you guys. No worries. Sorry, pug. Oh, a pug! If you were to give a pug to someone, how would you gift it? How would I gift it? I don't know. I think I would just leave it on their doorstep and then go like, happy birthday. Oh my god. I don't know many people whose favorite dog is a pug though. All my friends, my dad's favorite dog is a corgi. I really like huskies. I really like Pomeranians. Question, so I'm drawing a cat, what color should it be? Orange is one color it can be. It can be a lot of colors. Black, gray, white, brown. Calico cats. So calicos are orange and black and white. Yeah, black cats. Calico kittens are really cute too. Every single time I say cat, I have a character named Calico. Every single time I say it, it's just like flashbacks to him. And I'm like, man, one day I'll draw him for stream or something. It's my fox boy. Every single time I think of it, I'm just like, oh, my son. Anyway. Of all dogs, rainbow. Understandable, yeah. We do have a mammal stream coming up, so the first one in our animal series is going to be mammals. I believe it's mammals, then birds, reptiles, then fish. I think that's the order. Or reptiles and fish are switched. I don't remember. But I do know that mammals are first. Black cats are a sign of chaos. Black cats are technically a sign of bad luck, but honestly, I don't care. They're nice looking. Dude, I'm not superstitious, so, like... How do you add more variety to the hair? When I'm using a rough, I tend to just use the normal curved spiky shapes. Yeah, so it's just kind of figuring out. So hair is another thing that I want to teach one day, because that one, what that one is like, there's a lot of, you need to find two things, right? So your hair, there's the part, and there's two things you want to think about, right? Is like, is your hair going to be in a part, or is it going to be in a crown? Right? So then you can kind of flow your hair in a certain direction. Right, figure out where the hair is growing from. Maybe it's blowing in the wind. You know, stuff like that. Oops. Stoked for the reptile one. They're basically all I could draw anyway. Yeah. Reptiles have a lot of weird kind of nuance to them. Drawing animal fusions, Steven Universe flashbacks. I really like, the thing with learning animal anatomy, I've probably said it before, but, like, for the longest time, because when I was in high school, like, I'd studied, like, regular human anatomy for a while, and I was like, man, this is getting boring. So, as a challenge to myself, for, like, all of high school, I studied the relationship between, like, animal and human anatomy, and how similar it is. So, if you understand how to translate it, you can draw fusions very easily. So I have a lot of characters that are just human-animal hybrids. Mammals, are you covering humans? I'm being so funny. I'm actually covering humans in every single animal stream. Because it's easier to understand how to draw animals if you understand how to draw humans first. And vice versa. Because we're actually very, very linked. And we do have a human anatomy stream, so if you ever wanted to go over that, it was from a while back, so you can definitely check that out if you feel like it. And I believe we have a condensed version as well, so if you don't feel like sitting through a whole 2 hours, there's a shorter version. I think we have 2 different shorter versions. Bye-bye. Bye, Angie. And hello, Thunder Beast. Welcome in. Aren't calicos just cats? It's kind of breed or something. It's a pattern. So a calico cat is like it's a pattern on the cat. Kind of like a tabby cat tends to be orange. Yeah, it's a color pattern, not a real breed. Black and white and orange all together. Yeah. It's like a lot of people name their like black and white pets or like Oreo or whatever. I had a friend who had a bunny who was black that was black and white and she named it Oreo. Oh, we're at the top of the hour. Give me a second. I was joking, but I did watch those. Oh, excellent. But I am being serious when I say I will cover human anatomy as well when we do the animal streams, just briefly, because it's very easy to learn how to do wings when you understand arm anatomy. It's very easy to understand legs when you know how to do leg anatomy from humans, stuff like that. Okay, I'm gonna finish lining this and then we can do our top of the hour advertising. Looks cat. I don't know any Germans. If you know any German, you know more than me. Actually, I know, like, very little. I think I know 1, 2, and 3. That's eins, zwei, and drei, I think. I think I only know that from Eurovision, though. Oh, no. I learned it first in, Blue Exorcist, because there was that one dude, the demon, who always said, like, 1, 2, 3 in German or something. And, like, that's how I learned it. And then I saw that Eurovision video, and then I was like, oh, he's saying 1, 2, 3 because of the demon said that in Blue Exorcist. Educational anime. German does the thing where we put 2 words together in the word sometimes. Luck and cat, too. I can't pronounce that. Something like the game Don't Starve. I remember that game. It's old. I never played it, but I used to watch people play it sometimes. I'm very bad at survivals. So, like, I never played survivals often, and I still don't. I think the closest I'll get to a survival is playing Minecraft. Yeah, I don't know any German. I can speak English and like I can read a lot of French, but I can speak it like I can speak very broken French. I want to relearn French though. I think it's only because I'm Canadian, and then we had to learn French in our educational system. Eins, zwei, drei. I can't pronounce those other two. Don't trust German in anime. Most of the time, not even Germans understand what it should mean. I understand. Yeah, no, because I learned eins, zwei, drei from anime. I only know that it was saying eins, zwei, drei because that's what the subtitles said. They didn't translate that. They just left it in German. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I hate RPGs. I love RPGs. Those are the only games that I play. I love RPGs. As long as they're easy enough. Like I don't want to. I like RPGs only because like they usually tell a really good story. To the Moon had a really good story. I really liked Mad Father. Like these are the kind of old ones. I really like Mad Father. Like Japanese JRPGs, stuff like that. Good stuff. As a platformer kid, yeah, I still like platformers. I need to play the new. Well, it's not new anymore, but I need to play Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Because I played Ori and the Blind Forest. I loved that game. And, like, I need to play the Will of the Wisps. Speak German native, English second language, some words in French. Yeah. I can read French really easily. Like, if you kind of give me some French, I can probably figure it out. But, like, I'm really bad at speaking it. I can write it sometimes, but not all the time. Oh, I forgot his other horn. LOL. I'll put that in. Nice. Okay. It's actually pretty clean. Nice. Cute. Okay. Have you played Omori? I love Omori. I have an Omori keychain dangling off my phone right now. I have one of the pins on my Ita bag. I have one of the posters, one of the shirts, and I have 2 more on the way. You don't understand how much I loved Omori. I beat it in 3 days. I played it for 16 hours one day. It was a good time. It was a good time. Do you want to test your French, Jessie? No, I don't. Hello, Gabriel. Welcome in. Sorry for being late. No worries. I took German classes at school. They were difficult. Yeah, I can write something if you want to. But it is top of the hour. A little bit past top of the hour. But with that, though, we're going to do a bit of the ad read. So, if y'all are kind of new here, haven't been to this channel before, we are not only a YouTube channel, but we are also an art school. So if you'd like to check out all the classes we offer, I am one of the instructors. Yuri, who popped up before, was also one of the instructors. We are some of the instructors that teach here at Wayne Canvas. If you'd like to take one of our classes, my mentorship classes are very similar to the YouTube live streams. So if you want something a little more challenging, then join along. Join us. And this file that you see in front of you, along with this one, will both be available for download on our Discord as JPEGs. If you would like to download any of our files as JPEGs, all of them will be available after the live stream as a JPEG. Keep it, download it, save it, do whatever you want with it. Just don't repost it, and it's all yours. And you can reference back to it as much as you'd like. But if you would like all of my layers, so you're only going to be getting the JPEG, so you won't have any layers. But if you would like those layers, then make sure that you join our Patreon. And our Patreon is where you can get access to all of my working files, or some of my working files. I choose what gets uploaded there. Where you get access to some of my working files, along with behind the scenes kind of updates for what happens here at the studio, and what we do behind the scenes and things that we're planning that I don't talk about on stream. So be sure to join the Patreon, and Patreon will also give you discounts on our classes that are limited in spots, so be sure to check that out before the spots are gone. Yeah. True dedication for a warrior, yeah, literally. Articles are a little complicated, yeah. Does it cost? Yeah, so like the lessons, like our classes cost money, our Patreon costs money, but Discord doesn't. So if you wanted to join the Discord, you can create an account, join us there. Sometimes we do like socials and stuff. Talk to me. I'll be there. Some open spots, because the tolerance is usually pretty low. Oh. There we go. Cool. Yep. Alright. This is my fast way of coloring when I'm too lazy. I can't join. That's okay. The Discord is easy to join, though. That's free. Oops. Let's reference the layer. Nice. Nothing comes for free, except for our Discord. This will be available as a JPEG. But if you want the working file, you're going to have to join the Discord. Or join our Patreon, which is not free. But if you want the free version, Discord. All yours to download. And interact with other people that are on this stream. Including me and some of the other people who are at the studio. Hello! Aren't you a deer person? Yeah, a little deer centaur. Welcome in, Inner Magic. Ursana. Glad you can make it. Yes, so I'm gonna be demonstrating Golden Hour on this character. I might do a little bit of a, because I'm probably gonna cell shade this guy, depending on how fast I finish because Golden Hour shading does not take long. Depending on how fast I finish that shading, I might go and do some neon lighting as well. I have to go finish my break. Alright. Glad you could join. When you're broke with the Discord, yes. Yes. Bye. See you later. Thanks for popping in, Blue Diamond. But yes, join the Discord. If you got Discord, join us. I'm there. I'm there. All the other Wing Canvas members are there. Because we are a team. It's not just me. I'm just the one that you hear most often. But it's not just me. There are others on the Discord. Oh my god. I don't have a... Oh my god. I don't have a speckle brush. I hate that I have to, like, it doesn't just read that I'm tapping. Like, I have to, like... What's golden hour exactly? It's kind of like when the sun sets. You can look it up. So it's like around the time when the sun sets. Light's very orange and saturated. Yeah. Yeah, so more interactive stuff coming to our Discord. I did a little, we did a little socials thing. You guys could watch me work one night. That was kind of fun. I told the story of one of my dreams. So if you ever want to join for fun, spontaneous little mini streams like that, join our Discord. Can I have this routine for Fridays before going to school, drinking milk with Oreo, watching your stream? Oh, nice! That sounds like an epic routine. I've just gotten into the routine of, like, working out in the mornings, so. Good stuff. Streams become a part of my routine, yeah. These freckles are cute. Thank you! I love adding freckles. Again, it's another thing. If I had more... I'd add more characters with freckles if I could. It's just because freckles take a long time to draw. They're easier to draw in Photoshop because I have a freckle brush, but still. How do you select color without going inside the lines? So I have a full just layer of flat colors. I hit protect alpha, and I can't go outside the lines that way. So it's easier. Alright, just to make it easier, I'm gonna, like, just make this sweater one solid color. Why is my tolerance so low? Excuse me, wax? That's annoying. Oh, I can't. Boo. Alright. I should make a character with freckles. Yes, you should! What inspired this character? I don't know. I just felt like drawing a deer person. I was like, who am I gonna draw? I don't know. And then I was like, oh, golden hour is kind of fantasy-esque. Deer centaur. To use that feature, yeah. Secret Discord streams? Secret Discord streams? Heck yeah. Join our Discord for secret Discord streams. Had the same thought, yeah. Make characters with freckles. Freckled characters are the cutest. Secret Discord streams, do it at 6 a.m. It was 6 a.m. for you. It was like 12 p.m. for us. Or no, not 12 p.m. Like, it was 10 p.m. at first, and then we finished at around 12 a.m. So yeah, kind of late. The fawn spots. Okay, I'm having too much fun with this coloring. I need to I need to go on to the next part. I need to go to the actual lighting portion. It's just that the lighting doesn't take that long, so it's like, I'm like, don't want it to be like a 20-minute venture, you know? I'm in very deep sleep. Yeah, me too. I haven't woken up at 6 a.m. in ages. I woke up at 9 this week. That's really early for me. Like on Wednesday, I was like, alright, I have a lot of errands to run. I gotta get up early. Kind of late this beginner level, yeah. The elite sleeps at 4 a.m. I've been trying not to sleep at later than 2. Just because I want to get up earlier to work out so that I can work in the afternoon. As I try to live a healthier life, and they get made fun of for it. Oh, dang it. No. So I have to color this in manually. Ugh, fine. Oh, wrong brush. Ah, that's better. I woke up at 12 p.m. Yeah, I would normally get up at 12. I'm trying to get up earlier. Just so, like, because, like, I want to start working at 12. Okay. Oh, no, I forgot his ear. LOL. Oops. Let's make this a little bit, yeah, rosier. Okay. Now we can add the lighting. The thing with Golden Hour is that not only do you need to add your shadows, but you also need to add color itself. So, let's give him a nice and easy background real quick. Nice stream. I have to go, but I'll watch next one. Goodbye. Bye. Thanks for joining. Let's make this a nice and easy background. As in just like... I mean easy. Let's just kind of go like... oh, easy. Let's do this. Then kind of give him some grass. No, we should do the sky first. Hang on. Golden hour. I understand. Okay. So it's kind of like... So how do you create the alpha layer so it doesn't go outside of the hair certain areas? So I just, I use the magic wand, select on the outside, expand by 2, and then Control-Shift-I, and it inverses it. I just gotta make sure I select all the negative space first. Alright. So this should be kind of a dull bluish. This should be kind of a orangish, pinkish kind of color. So it's kind of like that-ish. Yeah. Cool. And this. Grass. Ah, so this is one of those working files that actually will have a lot of layers. Quite a few more layers than normal. Yes, my beautiful grass. That looks great. And I'll fix it. I'll fix it, don't worry. I'm trying not to spend too long on anything. And yeah, most things do have protect alpha. On Photoshop, Senna, it's lock transparency. There's no jitter? No, that's right. This is... Okay. This is not Photoshop, Jessie. You need to remember this. Yes, on secret Discord streams you can watch me work on Photoshop, so you can see how I work in my normal drawing program. Okay. So my light is like an orange. Oops. Reference the layer. Yeah. Better. And let's make this orangey. Turn it down a little bit. Now we can add our shadows as well, which are a deep blue. Kind of a bluish color. Oh, I should, yeah, reset that a little bit. So I'm picking the opposite color, or the contrasting color, because my light source is coming from back here. I'm actually going to set this to multiply to begin with. That's what's a little bit easier. No worries. As someone that uses mobile MediBang, how would I invert the selection? It should be up here, so select inverse. So underneath the select tab, it should say inverse underneath there. The Control-Shift-I is just the, Oh, it shouldn't be this intense. Yeah, cool. That thing that just popped up, that is your hue saturation slider, for anyone who doesn't know. So that's where you can hit Control U on your keyboard, same deal with Photoshop, and then that'll kind of pop back up. Hello, Mibino. Welcome in. Sorry, I can't pronounce that name. This is looking cute. Thank you, Yuri. There'll be a little bit of light hitting this antler. Just a little bit. Because the light source is coming from over here, a lot of the shadows will be off to the side. Right? Actually, there will be more light happening here. This will be very shadowed in over here on this side. So I'm cell shading this, so I actually don't have to worry about intensity or anything, just direction. Because I'm not going to be soft shading any of this. So with cell shading, you don't have to worry about intensity and stuff like that, just because... Well, you have to worry about intensity just for, like, area of effect. But you don't have to worry about it for concentration, because all your shadows will be very concentrated with cell shading. That's why a lot of artists like cell shading, because it's considered easier. I like cell shading just for the style that it brings, but I also do a lot of geometric shading, so my shading tends to be very, very... Oh, this actually should be causing a shadow here too. I like geometric shading just because of the style that it brings as well. So beautiful, thank you. I'm from Brazil. Ah! Very nice. Hello from Canada. Oops, I'm back. I enter later. Alright, cool. Welcome back. Alright, golden hour. Yeah, we got a half hour left. I got time. Golden hour is nice because it's like really, really easy to shade with. Yep, and then a little extra. Nice! Oh, I could add subsurface. Let's do that actually. Because I have the time. It's just a little bit of extra kind of red at the edges of our shadows can make them kind of pop a little bit more, right? And that really gives it a nice, slightly realistic skin feel to a lot of areas. Right, so let me turn this back to normal. Yeah. Then if I kind of blended this in, let's use the G pen once again. So I can kind of blend this back in so it feels a little bit nicer, right? So it's not so harsh. Again, your subsurface scattering, very, very important when it comes to your skin. You don't have to add it in, but it adds another kind of like lifelike feel. Alright. So if I switch this back to multiply, yeah, look at that. A little bit nicer. It kind of gives it a little bit more oomph. You know what I mean? It's a little bit intense, so let me just turn that down slightly. Of the warm feeling, thank you. Looks great, Jessie. Thank you, Amaya. What's cell shading? So there's two different main types of shading, right? So there's cell and there's soft. Cell is when you use hard shadows, so all of your shadows are instead just like blocks of color, right? Soft shading is when everything is really nice and blended in. There we go. That's a little bit nicer. Then we can add that back in. Nice. I can add a little bit of bounce light. Let's do it. Gonna add that on top of everything though. So let's say that I add a little bit of green bounce light, right? So like maybe the grass is creating a little bit of slight bounce light here. This isn't realistic at all. The grass would not be creating this much bounce light, but you know, for fun. Kind of gives it another dimension. I think adding a sun would make it look better. I kind of have my sun set so it's all the way over here. If I put the sun here, then I would have to change the direction of the shadows. So it's all like all dependent on where the light where the light is coming from. Good grief, my throat. You always have to keep that in mind. Where's your light coming from? And for me, I have my light set so it's off the canvas. So I can't really add it in, unfortunately. What? If I wanted to do golden hour from behind, you're absolutely correct. I would have to add the sun back in. Alright, now I want to color the lines. I'm like, yeah, I'll do like another kind of shading. Why not? And then like I'm just like adding more and more and more. This kind of makes it a little bit softer. Just always keep in mind the direction of your light. Where is it coming from? Whoops. Cool. Okay. Before I touch it anymore. Good enough. So let me do some quick neon shading as well, because I really wanted to do neons. Golden hour is beautiful, but I want to do more neons as well. So there's going to be a lot of layers in this one. It's going to make me cringe. It's all this layers. Epic. Okay. Edit canvas size. Let's make this width longer. So let's say it's 4300 right now. So when the outlines are to an alpha layer, so you can get into light detail. Yeah, so it's not like alpha. It's just I've locked the layer. There's two ways you can do that. You could just lock alpha or protect transparency, or you can create a clipping mask on another layer, so it's easier to edit. I'm just too lazy. The clipping mask is the correct way to do it technically. Let's make this 8,000. Sure. This would be my ideal way of lighting or shading, yeah? It's a very, like, oh, this is too long. It's a very, like, very quick way of shading. A lot of artists like to resort to it. Alright, we only have a half hour left, so I'm going to make this guy nice and simple. It's a very, like, it's a comic artist's kind of way of shading. This is how I shade normally. It's like I make it very, very quick. Alright, let's turn up my correction, because I'm not gonna sketch this guy. Whoops. Haha, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do Kirby, because now I've brought it up. And so it shall be. Can't draw a circle. Cries and circles are the only thing that I have to undo a bajillion times. Oh, that's why. It's because it's the hand tool. Why does it do that? I see. I love that, like, when Kirby was created, they wanted to create a character that was nice and easy to draw. And inadvertently, they made him somewhat difficult because he's nothing but circles. I love Kirby so much. If you see that recent texture video, all my Kirby stuff, it's not funny, guys, how much I love Kirby. Like, just the severe amount of Kirby stuff I own. Kirby, indeed. My boy. Alright. I am back. Welcome back. We're doing our second illustration because I finished the golden lighting one pretty fast. Kirby is cute. Yes, I love Kirby. I love my son. Alright. Yeah, so the color, how I color. Oh, why is this? Oh, it's referencing the canvas. Reference the layer. Select. Make sure it's expanded by 2. Control-Shift-I. So it's inversed. Make a new layer. Put it underneath. And then just... Reminds me of the Kirby with a knife meme. Do you know how many Kirbys with knives I have? So good. Like, the amount of Kirbys with knives I have, excellent stuff. I love that meme, so do I. So we got our Kirby. Nice and easy. It was so funny. I remember when we were in the live studio and, like, one of my students really wanted me to draw Meta Knight. And I was like, oh man, I hadn't drawn Meta Knight in so long at that point. And I was like, can I still remember how to draw Meta Knight after all these years? And I still knew how to draw him from memory. And I was like, let's go. That's how you know that I'm still a Kirby, like a massive Kirby fan. Alright. Let's make this background super, super dark. Oh, I should reference the layer. I'm gonna clip this, make the overall color, multiply that. Kirby with a knife, one day. Everything I draw looks like it comes out of a horror movie. So you're a horror artist? I too am a horror artist. You wouldn't believe it by what I've drawn so far, but you know. I love horror. Alright. So neons are a little bit interesting because... What should I do? I should do red, or no, let's do pink and blue. Because those are my favorites. I'm gonna soft shade this bit, so I'm just kind of marking down everything so far. Let's say that they're his immediate sides. So these are going to be done with hard light layers. So neons, if neons did win, they were second place, so I'll consider that a win for me. This actually would be cut off here. Oh, whoops. I guess this is blue now. This is pink. But now this one, I can switch to hard light. Yes. I can kind of see that through there. So the super bright neons. Make sharp knife. Kirby looks pretty ominous at this point. Yes, absolutely. He's running from the cops. That's why it's like pink and blue. What crimes has Kirby committed? Probably arson, knowing him. Oh, you know what? No. Manslaughter. I'm kidding. This is a joke. It is all a joke, my friends. Kirby bosses rule. Just because it's like, it's so like, it always starts with like, Kirby likes to eat some cake, or Kirby's like having fun, or with his friends, or whatever, right? And then it's like, Kirby now has to save his home from the void, or whatever. Like, so creepy. Yes, he's very ominous. As he should be. Hard light? Overlay. No. Hard light, soft light. No. Hard light does look the best. Yeah. And then, what I do, so take all of this, merge it. Come on, name the layer. Thank you. And now I would blend. No fear. All on the same layer. Kirby, Kirby. Because there would be an extra kind of layer of shadow in the middle too. Because he's a sphere, and when we think of the spheres, right, we have to kind of think in the way that that goes. Like, he doesn't have any planes of the face, it's all just like a circle. You know what I mean? I'm back. Welcome back, Kojo. It's Kirby time. But then again, Kirby time never ends. I still think the knife's missing. Maybe we'll have the knife on the ground. Because then the knife would mean that I'd have to do more shading. I'd have to do, like, hard shading. Because it's a shiny object. Is Kirby at a nightclub? Yeah, let's say that he's at a nightclub. The nightclub wouldn't have a K, by the way, but that's me being nitpicky. It's okay. You don't need to worry about it. He's scary enough without a knife. Kirby is the destroyer of worlds. Let's get real here. You ever think how, like, in Superstar Ultra, Kirby accidentally started the apocalypse just because he was hungry? I think that's kind of funny. This K's knife would fit. Maybe I'll put his knife on the ground in front of him. Oh, Meta Knight's nightclub. That's what you meant. I understand. I mean, technically, okay. I've watched every single Kirby, the anime. I've watched every single episode, right? Technically, there was like a nightclub because Meta Knight had like his posse of like other knights. but Meta Knight was the only one with an accent. It was because I watched the English version, so Meta Knight had like a Spanish accent, and every single time he'd show up, it was like the Spanish guitar would play, and I was like, oh man. Like looking back on it now, I'm like, oh man. Adding highlights to his eyes to make him alive. Yeah, I need to like add the little blue bits here. I'll do that afterwards though, because I want to kind of blend it in a little differently. It's also on another. Oh no, it's all on one layer. That's right. I merged it. Because I'm a buffoon that likes to do that. Don't you like the dead stare that he has? I'll change it. Let me just... Oops. Oh, that's right. It's merged. I can't do that. All I gotta do is just sharpen it. Alright, pink side. Pink time. Oh, no, I left his cheeks here. I usually like to blend these so they're a little bit softer. Yeah, so they're kind of blended in a little bit more. Because he has like... It'd be two different colors, so there'd like be blue on that side and pink on that side. Because of the... because of the like... the light color. He's so happy. Yes, Yuri. You're the Macho Man protagonist in the telenovas. Yeah. That voice. So good. Man. The Kirby anime was so good. Like, I don't... It was, like, bad, but, like, it was so good. Like, you know what I mean? It was, like, definitely for kids. Like, I loved that so much. Like, I watched it when I was in 4th grade, so I was around, like, 9 or 10, maybe. I love that stuff. I was obsessed. I watched all 100 episodes, and I watched them all again. It's like... Yeah, you can find them online, too. They're still free. Like, you can just look up Kirby right back at you. All the episodes are still on YouTube for free. You can just watch them whenever you want. So cute. Thank you. Hello, JVA. Welcome in. Oh, he looks like he doesn't want to kill us. Yeah, it's the little sparkles. I rarely add the glitters in his eyes anymore. I just draw them as straight lines. There was an episode where Kirby turned evil. Because he got possessed by, like, an evil frog. And he, like, destroyed, like, everything. He rammed a car into a building. That was a good episode. It was so wild. I was like, what is happening? Like... And then when I was younger, everybody made, like, edgy Kirby AMVs with that episode. Good stuff. What program do you use to make the stream? Like, what do I use to record it? It's OBS. And then the program that I use to draw is MediBang Paint Pro. So this is free. OBS is also free. Evil frog. You know, it was wild. It was like, it was just a frog and it had like devil wings. Like it had like bat wings. It was great. That's a good episode. Like, honestly, I love all the episodes, so like still. You know what I mean? You can probably show me any screenshot and I know which episode it came from. Hearts with Hypnotoad. Ah, that's an old meme, but yes, I agree. All hail the Hypnotoad. Yeah, Hypnotoad's old. That's classic internet. Like, I mean... Okay. Oh, it's 5:45. I've still got like 15 minutes since I'm done this. That won't be that hard. All hail! All hail the Hypnotoad. So you can see the difference with proximity, right? So because his body is so close to his feet, these shadows are very concentrated, but the lights are very far away, so they're still going to cast these kind of soft shadows on the rest of his body. But the proximity of his body to his feet, very, very close, so those shadows are very concentrated. So you can kind of see the difference, what I mean there by proximity. See ya, thanks for joining! Thanks for joining, Lennox. Have fun, y'all, thank you. Of course! Oh no, I'm my favorite character, Just Springtrap. I have a facility for him, I understand. A FNAF character. It's been a long time. When I was younger, I really liked Mangle. That was always my favorite. Just because I liked the creepy fox. I was a fan of Foxy beforehand, and then Mangle came around. I was like, oh, it's so much cooler. It's just... I think it's just because I like foxes, though. I still listen to the FNAF songs. Like the ones by the Living Tombstone. Honestly, bangers. I don't care what any else say. FNAF songs are they slap, dude. Like, they're so good. What would you say the most difficult part of casting the shadow? Cast shadows, yeah. I don't find it that hard anymore. Like, I mean, I think the most difficult part is when I have more than one very bright light, and then I'm like, man, how am I gonna work these shadows? You know? Just figuring out kind of how those... Oh, I forgot a shadow below here. I'll do that later. Just kind of figuring that out. That gets kind of tricky sometimes. Yeah, so there would be kind of like a... They're so good, right? Fire is a classic. Honestly, Fire is really good. I really like the one that became like the meme. It's been so long. Everybody knows that one because everybody knows like the man behind the slaughter. That's what everyone called it. But like honestly, such a good song. And then I really liked shoot. There's a lot. There's a lot. They're just really good. Can I not merge these? Merge. Thank you. Oh, Got No Time is pretty good too. I really liked the first one when it first came out, and then it got kind of boring, and now I'm so into just like all the other ones. This is getting a little advanced. I don't know if I want like, because this is where the like harshest shadow would be in the center if both lights are coming from either side of him. I don't really need to make it darker. That's the thing. Never mind. I don't have a history, do I? Please tell me there's no exact max. I can just delete this. Excellent. Nostalgia for FNAF 1 song. Yeah, honestly. FNAF came out in 2014, guys. That's kind of insane. Airbrush time. I was at the max it goes. LOL. Oh well. Whoops! Is it not locked? Oh, it should be. It should be locked. Sorry, that was a really loud whoops. Sorry. Yeah, MediBang's airbrush is hard to get the hang of. It's like, it doesn't handle quite the same as Photoshop, so it's like I'm not, and I don't really use the airbrush much, so it's like it's kind of hard to handle. It's about 9 minutes left. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah, slightly up and to the side. I refuse to believe it's been that long. No, it has! Like, if you look it up. It's awful. Okay, so if this is blue, then the shadow below would be like a dark, dark brownish kind of color. Oh, it's gotta be dark. Okay, it's gotta be black because I can't. Yeah, because the color doesn't show up if it's too bright. Actually, oh, there we go. That's better. So we can have this one. Lower the opacity a little bit. This is at 64. We'll make this 64 as well, close enough. So it's pink. Opposite should be a greenish, kind of warmish green. So you kind of have two shadows layered over here. Yeah. That's what I like to call color theory. Remember once telling my grandma the entire story of FNAF? Yeah. I can't tell my family this kind of stuff. Like, I could, but like, I don't think I'd want to sit through it. I'm like, okay, listen, there's this dude, right? And he's like called the purple guy, but there's multiple purple guys, you know? And like, I don't know if I have that kind of dedication. You know what I mean? Yes, two cast shadows. This actually I can make a little bit lighter. Oh, wait, I didn't do that. There we go. And then I can kind of blur the edges, but I have to do that with a subtraction kind of deal. Oh, on the wrong layer. LOL. There we go. A little bit with this one too. Yeah. Yeah. Kinda. It's okay. It's good enough. Something about FNAF purple guy. Family think I'm on drugs mood. She's so confused. Hi, hello, Burfin. Oh man, the stream's just about to end. It's okay. Yeah, I only know the lore because I've watched the MatPat videos. I don't like, they're the only Gabe Theory videos I still watch. Whenever he kind of updates about FNAF, that's all. Okay. I realized I forgot cast shadows down here. So let's do that real quick. And let's change this to normal for a sec so I can just pick up this color. Cool. And turn that back on. There we go. Epic. Anyone want to know anything about FNAF lore? I have a lot of useless information in my brain. It's okay. Me too. Oh. What happened here? Oh, I'm on subtract still. LOL. Yeah, these are going to be very, very long. Long kinds of shadows. And the sun is coming from that way, so it should all kind of be going this direction. And this eraser should be a lot smaller, so I can do this. Yes. Very nice. Easy. Easy. Nice. Normally I'd kind of make it go with the texture of the grass, but I'm not gonna bother with that. Okay. The animatronic drawing live stream. I mean, I don't know how I'd teach that. Here's one thing, right? Like, my students all know. I'm like, listen, can I draw robots? Technically, yes, but I'm not good at them, so I don't trust myself to teach it. So this down here is golden hour. I'm turning up my smoothing just a little bit. Just to make my handwriting a little bit nicer. Sorry, I'm seeing a lot of messages off to the side. Watching theories from Game Theory, me too. All the FNAF map. Yeah, that's the reason I know all of them. And I remember being scared of FNAF at night. LOL! So hyped for security breach. The shadows so fast. Who wouldn't? FNAF VR especially scary. Like the liminal spaces vibe. There's a liminal spaces game. I just don't remember what it's called. The Backrooms? That's what one of them was. I love liminal spaces. So good. Okay, well, we're a little bit early. I mean, I don't have anything else to add, though. Oh, I could do, like, an edge light on the golden hour guy. But that makes it a little bit intense, because it's never usually, like... Because it's not like it's behind him. It's just in front, and there wouldn't be any, like... anything too intense. Oh, but I could. Just do a slight kind of... light like that. Just kind of on his nose. Me at me, just adding all the final touches. Okay, I'm... It's like I'm done. No, I'm not. And his freckles are part of his, like... They're part of his coloring, so I can't really... Man! I shouldn't have... done the freckles on the same layer as the rest of the body here. Yeah, because that makes it kind of tricky. Ugh! Oh well. It's like now I'm just making the coloring more advanced. That's all that's happening. Oh, the knife! Oh my god. I don't have the time now. It's too late. Okay, wait. Maybe I can. We'll see. Liminal space. Yeah, liminal spaces are great. I don't watch any on YouTube. I just watch, like, the... What's it called? Or I don't watch. I get, like, the inspiration from images, more so. Like, I follow a Twitter account called Liminal Spaces. Knife. Okay, if I draw the knife, I'm removing the shines from his eyes, because then it doesn't look... because it looks too cute. What is this? Oh. the knife's gonna take so long. It's Oops. Yeah, I'm getting rid of the shines if we're adding the knife, because the shines make him too cute. I mean, he's already adorable, but you know. Murderous intent. What do you have there? A knife! No! Old meme that everybody still uses for some reason. I don't know anybody who hasn't used that meme in ages. It's like, it's everybody knows that video. Me refuses to look up a reference. It's okay. It's really not. You should look up a reference. Always look up a reference. Whoops. And let's approximate a little bit. It'd be kind of down here-ish, I think. No. Knife! Yeah, here's the thing, right? Is because it's a knife, you have to, like, it's shiny, right? So I have to do a different kind of lighting. Because, this is more about materials than it is, like, with lighting and whatever, but your material also matters when you're doing lighting, because it's how concentrated the light will be. A knife. Alright, so it'll be a little bit more concentrated. Whole knife. Hello, cereal mug. That's an excellent name. Oh my goodness. I hope you can't hear my brother playing the trumpet next door. Alright. So I've got to make it, like, the thing with, like, light on things that's shiny is that they have to be concentrated. Like, very, very concentrated. Cool knife. Thanks. It's a little bit rushed, but thank you. Great job today, Jessie. Thank you, Jay. We're almost done. We're almost done. So now people requested the knife, and now I gotta finish it, so. Realizing the way that I drew this lighting doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's okay, though. We'll pretend that it does. We'll pretend that this makes perfect sense. Metal is hard. Metal is really hard to shade in. It's like normally I'd have a bunch of references up. Knife. I don't think it needs that extra little line down here. This doesn't make much sense. So if this is flat here, that's when you can shade with the black. Not necessarily. Shading with the black, well, technically, all of these shadows are super, super dark. It's like they're technically different colors. Just I kind of like messed around with it a little bit, so it doesn't look like that anymore. It'll never look like you're shading with a yellow or an orange, because it'll be blended in that way. So when you have white light, then you'd probably shade in with black. I don't think I need this. Like, I don't think I need that, like, crazy... Like... Like, it feels off, and I'm unable to gauge why. And I'm like, that's great. Because I'm like, it doesn't feel correct. It's because of the way that I directed the lighting. Just be a little bit flatter here. I may have to call it a good enough soon. Oh, actually, this shouldn't be here. There's no pink on this side. Or not as much, anyway. Kirby's the best. The knife is good for the pink guy. Kirby's the best person to get a knife. I love the perfect thing. The knife wouldn't be brighter if it's in all this thing. It's the thing is, like... is its shape, right? So it's like, I don't... It's a very, very dark area. And, like, it depends on how... Because if there's... The light would be very, very concentrated, and I'm trying to figure out how this light would be concentrated, because it's like, it would be kind of dull on this side, and there's a specific point for the darkness. It's a very specific point, because it's like, there's a point where it gets very, very thin. Like right here. Because if it's curving this way, then it would be like... Because on this side would be curving flat down this way, and this remains flat. Hang on. Let's try something. Let's try this kind of magic. Kind of. That's very stylized. It's a kind of a stylized way that you'd shade this. Actually, that looks better. It's just the direction of the lighting. Sometimes it's better to just straight up restart. You know what I mean? Ethan Becker is better for me. Ethan Becker. Ethan Becker. Believe in Kirby, I guess. Have you never seen the Kirby with a knife meme? It's best. It's good stuff. Ethan Becker. Oh, he's a knife maker. LOL. I didn't know who Ethan Becker was. Sorry. Then yes, I suppose that makes sense. If he has a knife. Yeah, at one point I'm gonna reach the... You know, Ethan Becker, I didn't. Yeah, not initially. I googled him. He's a knife maker, apparently, according to Google. He worked with Disney. Oh! Wait. Wait. Hang on. Oh, wait. The name is familiar now. Now that I'm looking at some of the work. I think I see him sometimes pop up on my timeline. It's midnight, I should be sleeping down. I need to see that knife. This knife is failing, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to call it a good enough soon. He's not a knife maker. I don't know. I saw, Googled him, and they're like, Ethan Becker, knife maker. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, that makes sense. I guess. I stand corrected, though. Now I've seen his work. Off and away to Target. It's okay. Knife at the nightclub with Meta Knight. Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know what's happening here. This doesn't make sense. Bruh. Could say that this size a little more. A little bit less shiny on this side, maybe. Okay. Almost done here. 6:15. I'm getting too frustrated with this knife. I'm gonna have to call it quits at some point. So I wasn't prepped to draw a medal today, so... Have a good night, Jessie, everybody. I have school now. Alright. Good night. You have school at night? Interesting. Alright, but glad you could make it. Yeah, I'm almost done. This has gone on super, super long, but we're almost done. We're over time by a few minutes. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to call it quits there because I don't know what I'm doing. Sure. Okay. If I end up wanting to edit it, I'll edit it, but I don't think I will. We'll call that knife done. I should give it line art, though, because if I just kind of leave it, it'll bug me. So I can kind of make it pop a little bit more. Cool. Okay. That's gonna do it for this stream, though, guys. Oh my god, it took so long to save. Thank you so much for joining. If you were here joining us for the anime Kirby now, JK. No. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, everyone. If you're kind of here for the first time, remember that we are not only a YouTube channel, we're also an art school. So if you'd like to check out all the class offerings that we have, feel free to check in the link in the description for our website. And if you would like to download this file as well as this one as JPEGs, make sure that you check out our Discord where you can get everything as a JPEG there. Download it, keep it, reference it, save it, do whatever you want with it. Just don't repost it. It is all yours. But if you would like the layers, so I'm probably going to post this one. If you'd like all the layers for my working files, you are going to have to join our Patreon. What is up with my mouse? Excuse me? My mouse isn't listening to me. Hey. You're going to have to join our Patreon. There we go. Join our Patreon and you can get all my working files. You can download them there. So you can get access to my layers and see how my workflow works. And stuff like that. But yeah, thanks so much for joining, everyone. What's happening next week? I'm not certain. I think... Do we start with the... What do we start with next week? I think it's contrast. Yes, so contrast is next week. We're going to be going over principles of design. That's what we're going to start with. We're going to start a new series. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for joining, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye!